Hello, welcome to Dad Dude Advice. I'm a little clever, a little sly, a little crazy, and definitely no doctor, but I do want to help you. I want to help people. Um, I'm trying to be more organized with my second video. So if you see me look down or whatever, it's because I have notes. And I do want to help people. That's why I'm doing this. Is it a crazy, selfish thing? Yes, it is. I really enjoy helping people. Um, Even though I'm not a doctor, I'm not qualified. I barely graduated high school, but I've lived 50 years. I have a lot of life experience, and I do want to help people. Um, I'll go with my Gmail account once I find it on this stupid piece of paper. Oh, yes. My email is torech379@gmail.com. If you have something personal that you want some help with, but you don't feel comfortable talking to a family member, I can give you advice. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I do want to help people, and maybe I can give some insights. Um, Today, I'd like to start with the fact that, you know, um, what a lot of people really don't get is that, especially in this day and age, you're never alone. Um, there's always people out there that are willing to help you or want to help you, just like myself. Um, so many people that so many people out there feel alone, um, and with the internet, um, no matter what you're going through, what kind of pain you're going through, what kind of crazy situation you're going to, there's a million people on the internet. They're going through exactly what you're going through. Um, and there's probably, I can't believe that there's not a website that, you know, and chat rooms where people who are going through the same thing that you're going through are at. And you can share your problems, they can share their problems, you can kind of commiserate. And because the internet nowadays is a great resource for people that are having problems, I think, because there's a million people that are going through. I mean, because there's what, 7 billion people on the planet. There's always other people that are going through what you're going through, you know. Um, and not only can you commiserate, but you can actually help each other get through whatever you're going through. And because it's on the internet, it's anonymous. So you don't have to worry about being exposed to your community. Um, the reason I say this is because, some people live in a small community, a big community, they, have a bunch of friends, but with an anonymous identification on an anonymous website, you are completely anonymous. You can commiserate with people. You can, as long as you're not um, well, you do have to worry about if you're young, you have to worry about pedophiles and creeps. But as long as if you've got someone that's helping you online, you're commiserating with, they're giving you advice that really works for you. That's great, and it doesn't mean that you have to give them your phone number, address, your real name, anything like that. I do say that because um, there's always people having the problem that you're having. There's always people, you know, going through what you're going. But then there's also, predators. And so as long as you don't give your name, address, phone number to anybody, you really are safe, anyways. And so you can feel open. You can communicate with others like yourself. And, you know, there's always a way to find a safe place. And no matter how hurt you are inside, or more how much you think that, oh, nobody could be going through what I'm going through. Yeah, they are. With 7 billion people on the planet, there's at least a minimum of 100 people that are going through what you're going, even if you're being abused by a monkey. Um, you know what I'm saying? So, you don't have to talk. You can type on a computer. The other thing is that there's, for people that are feeling sad and hurt and lonely, there's always suicide hotlines that, even if you're not feeling suicidal, if you're just feeling so hurt inside, they will talk to you. And that's the great thing. You can have an anonymous person on the end of the line. They're not going to call the cops or anything like that. But if you're in a really bad place and you need someone to just talk to that's anonymous, um, they'll talk to you. Because most of the people that do that job, they're either very highly trained or they've been in the same spot and now they want to help people who are in that spot. So I will say that it's really important to know that even if you're afraid to talk to people in your community, your friends, your parents, whoever, because of the internet, which you're looking at right now, you are not alone. And there's a bunch of people that are going through what you're going through. And even if they don't have necessarily solutions, um, sharing your pain with somebody who's going through exactly what you're going through, it's relieving. It feels better to feel not alone to pretty much everybody. So I think the message that I got, that I over elaborate is that you're not alone. You're not alone. I mean, I'm here, but there's a gazillion people out there that are going through what you're going through, or at least a small community. And there are people like yourself that will um, work with you. Uh, right on this topic here, which is the same kind of thing, is um, screw trolls and haters. And I say that straight up. Um, there are always going to be assholes. There's always going to be trolls and haters. You can't let them get to you. Um, if you're online, yeah, I mean, even if you go to a website and you're commiserating with people with the same problem, or maybe you're just on Facebook or Twitter or any of these other um, what social media things that you're doing, there's always going to be people that are haters. And I've online gamed a lot. Uh, I love Call of Duty. This is not an ad for Call of Duty because, whatever. I don't know these people. But I played a lot of online games and I get the headset so I can hear which direction guys are coming from and all this stuff. And the one thing I found is that there are people online that are going to say messed up shit um, because they just want to get a reaction out of somebody. They get off on getting a reaction out of somebody. Also, I've run into a lot of people that they have online balls, is what I call them. And forgive my language, but you know what? I'm an adult. I cuss. I'm sorry. You know, whatever. Um, for me, online balls is a person that will say just messed up shit because they know that you can never find them. You will never meet them in person. There's no way that you could possibly physically encounter them. So they say messed up shit because that they would never say to your face, that they would never say to anybody's face because they know they get their ass kicked. But they say these things, these nasty things that they're feeling inside because they know that they can get away with it. And some people get off on saying nasty shit that they just because they can get away with it. Oh, I can get away with being, saying the N word or, calling someone a, dirty cunt or whatever, and they'll never be able to, you know, interact with me. So I'm safe. And so now I can be a gigantic dick and no one can stop me. There's those people. Um, and then there's people that are really bitter inside. Um, they're bitter inside because they're just filled with anger and hate and hurt. And so they're lashing out at everyone and everything around them because they're hurt inside. And when you're hurt, your temper is short. Um, People just they have less patience. When someone's really hurt inside, sometimes they lash out at other people because they want people to see that they're hurt, you know, or maybe, and some people they're like, I'm hurt, so I want everybody else to hurt too, because it's not fair that I'm hurt and they're not. Or, you know what I mean? There's a million reasons why people that are hurt inside and they're all torn up inside that lash out at other people um, because they're hurt. So, you know, if somebody's a hater, if somebody's a troll, if somebody's being mean, whether it's in person or online, they're, you know, they're assholes or, you know, whatever. Maybe they have their reasons, but fuck them. You know, most of the time, it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It has to do with them and either the shit they're going through or the shit that they are inside. So trolls and haters, fuck them. You know, they're not worth your time. I know it's hard sometimes to not take it to heart because you're a human being. You know what I'm saying? You have feelings. You're probably a very emotional individual. You're somebody that cares inside, and you're being victimized by people that are filled with anger or hate or something, and you let it get to you. It's hard. It's hard not to let it get to you because you care. But you gotta let it go. You gotta let them not get to you. You gotta, so, if it's on the media thing, sometimes you just gotta turn it off, cut it off, back away from whatever the source is of the trolling that you're running into. Because if it's causing you pain, if it's doing you no good, why are you going there? You know, Sometimes you just gotta back away from the vehicle and do what you gotta do. Detox, get yourself together, realize that their hate has nothing to do with you specifically, and move on. Um, and one of the other things that I'm going to cover today, because I think it's really important for every human being on the planet, love yourself. There is only one of you, unless for some reason you're an identical twin. There's always an except. There pretty much. I can't say always. I don't like absolutes. Always, never, things like that. The reality is that absolutes, always, never, things like that, are generally incorrect. um, where was I going? Oh, but you should love yourself. There's only one of you. Um, Even if you have a twin, they're not you. You know, um, and everybody has good inside. Everybody makes mistakes. They Everybody makes errors. Everybody sometimes does something shitty to another person. Everybody screws up. I have a job, and I'm not going to talk about what my job is because I don't want to create a situation where I could get fired. But I have a job where I got to do a whole bunch of stuff every day. I do the same thing every day, over and over and over. And for a year, I tried to not make a single mistake. I was trying to be very detailed and orientated and not make a mistake. And I went an entire year without being able to make a mistake at least once in a single day. So the reality is, everybody makes mistakes in life. Some of them are little, some of them are big. But, if you didn't do something on purpose, if it's an accident, you know, it's an accident. You didn't do it on purpose. You fucked up. It's okay. Find a way to. What my thing is I say, I need to learn from my mistake, learn from it, and move on. One of the hardest thing I think for people, including myself, is letting go of the past. Um, but in the end, you have to find a way to love yourself. You are a good person on the inside, even if you made a mistake, even if you know you caused somebody else hurt or pain. Um, People make mistakes that are enormous, and other people make ones that are little. And sometimes we see mistakes as this when realistically they're this. You know what I'm saying? Um, but loving yourself is really important. How can you love anybody else if you don't love yourself? I guess you can. I mean, you really can be, but I think you can love other people better if you love yourself. Um, because you can. There are some people that just love everybody, um, but they don't love themselves for one reason or another. You know, you um, everybody has foibles. Everybody has things that they get about themselves and everything. Um, the one thing I've noticed in my 50 years is that um, every woman on the planet has body issues. Um, and the reality is that don't. I mean, I know it's hard to say because every woman in the world every woman in the world has a piece of their body that they think is awful or wrong. And it's not necessarily just women, too, because guys get things. Um, Guys have things where it's like, they're going bald, or, they have a little penis, or maybe they don't have a little penis, but they think it's little because penis size is a very sensitive subject with guys. With girls, it's a body image, where it's like, um, I'm fat, or I get these love handles, or I get fat hanging off of my arms jiggle. I have ugly feet, I've heard that one. Um, Knobby knees, I don't know, a bunch of pimples. Um, I have a cesarean scar. How about that one? You know what? If somebody really loves you or cares about you, then they don't fucking care. They don't. You know, if a man loves a woman, and I'm going to go to woman's side here first. If a man loves a woman, he loves you. It doesn't matter what you look like. That's why when people grow old together and you see them together and they're still holding hands and they're 80 years old, do you think they really care what you look like? They didn't care what you looked like a million years ago, and they still don't care now because they love you. Um, in my lifetime, I have found myself unbelievably attracted to people that other people would find repulsive, but it's because you see what's on the inside, and for some, it draws you out, and you go, wow, you know, I really like this person, and the other thing it is when it comes to loving yourself is no matter what you look like, no matter what your type is, there's somebody that's into your type. Um, some people like heavy people. Some people like bony, skinny ass people. No matter what you look like, there's someone into your type. Some people like blondes. I prefer brunettes myself. Um, you could have super white skin. The one thing I found is that whatever you seem to have, especially as a woman, you want something else. So the woman with wavy hair wants straight hair. The woman with straight hair wants wavy hair. The woman with brown hair wants blonde hair because, oh, they're better. It's an illusion. Nobody's better than anybody else. Whatever you have, there's somebody that's going to like that. Um, I'm not saying don't take care of the outside. Don't obsess about it, is what I'm saying. If you take care of yourself, so that you're not getting sick and this and that, and, um, you know, uh, as long as you're taking showers and you're feeding yourself, I mean, like, because some people will starve themselves because they're always thinking they're too fat. That's where anorexia comes from, or bulimia, or whatever. Um, Statistics that I've heard, I haven't read them, but I've heard statistics say that there's many, almost every woman has gone on some kind of crazy diet. Many of them very unhealthy because they're trying to become like Anja fucking Jolie or whatever. It's an illusion. Um, I myself don't like thick, skinny women. I like a woman with some meat on her, something you can grab a hold of. But that's me. When it comes to guys, um, here's the illusion, and I've talked to many women. Really, penis size doesn't matter. Um, it's much more important, I have found, for a woman that you, you put the work in. You know what I mean? What you do is better than what you got. I'll just say that. So work at it in bed, figure out the things that are really gonna blow her mind. Don't just go, I don't want to get too much into the sex thing right now, but anyway, um, bald heads. There are women that love bald heads, you know, um, facial hair. Here's the thing. My wife hates beards on a guy. I mean, she thinks it's awful. Um, my best friend, she loves bearded women. She likes, bearded women. Excuse me. That was funny. Excuse me. Lung butter. Anyway, she loves bearded men with meat on them. She loves meaty, big bearded men. So, I've met a woman that loved a bald head. Boy, she would just love the bald head. Some women love really long, flowing hair. There's always going to be a person out there for you, no matter what you look like. If you're fat, if you're skinny, they have people called chubby chasers. They love um, big people. They don't. I mean, they love. Some of them love. I mean, you could be 600 pounds. That makes them even happier. So love yourself is my point. And I always talk too much. That's why I have this. I want to help people, but I don't know. I got a big mouth. I talk too much. But the reality is, love yourself. You are awesome in your own way. You know, skinny or fat, smart or not so smart, whether you have, you know, pimples or scars, or whether you're tall or short, it doesn't matter. Love yourself for who you are, because who you are on the inside is who you really are. On the outside, there's 7 billion people in the world. I said that on a different topic, but the reality is that there's always going to be dozens of people that are going to be into what you are. Um, so don't worry about people liking you. And the other thing is love yourself. As long as you're beautiful on the inside, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. You know what I'm saying? And you are awesome. You know, if you can love yourself, that's super awesome because so many people have trouble with that. But you know, me, I have trouble with that from time to time. I really do. You know, um, and what I found is the more that people care about other people, sometimes they have that problem. You know, because if they make somebody else hurt for any reason, then they'll just and they'll hate themselves. But the reality is, you're a good person. Love yourself. You know, realize that you're a good person. You're not alone, and everything else is okay. Um, I guess on that note, I will call it a day. Um, this is Old Dad Dude Advice. Um, my email again, because I'm old, so I got paper and I'm crazy. Is torech379 at gmail.com. Um, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist. I barely graduated high school, but I've lived 50 years and I really, really, really want to help people. And I'm at hopes that, you know, if you need help, send me an email. You know, I'll do my best. I'll try to give you the best advice that I have inside of me. It's not professional advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, anything like that. I just like to help people. It That's why I do this, or I've started to do this. Um, and so love yourself. Have a great day, a great week, a great year, and I'll talk at you later.